on YouTube Live in a second here.
And we are live. Welcome, friends.
11:59, I think we can go to the next slide. Welcome to the webinar. Today we're going to be talking about fluffing, wiggling, and raspberries, how movement for health can be fun. And we have our host here, Yoli Maya. Thanks for joining us, Yoli.
Thank you.
And if everyone just wants to type in the chat where they are, who they are and where they're from. I'm Andrew from Minnesota. It's a wonderfully cold and rainy day outside, so this is kind of the perfect environment for me right now to be doing some fluffing, wiggling, and raspberries. Hi, Heather from Pennsylvania. Hey, Tracy from Kansas City, Missouri. Paula from Illinois. Brittany from Chicago. Hi, Brittany. I'm just going to wait another minute or two before we get into the housekeeping. Can the list keep on going up? Hi, Rosemary from Chicago. And Yoli, you say it's kind of humid in Chicago today?
Oh, it's summer today. Like it just kicked in.
Was it raining yesterday? I think I heard that it was.
A little, yeah, okay. A little. But this is full power sunshine today.
Awesome. Well, yeah, so I'm going to move on into the housekeeping, but yeah, we're just going to be talking about how movement can be fun. So just going over a couple things, the ways to engage. If you aren't talking, please put your phone on mute. When you're ready to comment, please raise your hand and we'll unmute you, and then you'll be able to unmute yourself so you can be heard. Another thing is to please be patient with us, technology, all that fun stuff. I'm usually webinar tech support, so I definitely have an experience with technology going on the fritz every now and then. And then please make sure that when you're in the chat, you click that little down arrow and you click all panelists and attendees so that we can see your message. I'm going to post that in the chat. And then as usual, we always have agreements before we have these webinars to make sure that we have a safe space. So the agreements are speak from your own experience using I statements. The golden rule, of course, treat other people the way that you want to be treated. And then full presence, please. I think that to really get as much as you can out of moving and being healthy, you're going to have to be paying attention to the movements that are going on. So no multitasking. If you agree to these, please click. Please say I agree in the chat right now. And then once we get a couple more agreements, then we can move on to the next slide. All right, here they come. A lot of agreements, love it. All right, go into the next slide. So this is our mental emotional vitality is the health and well-being of your mind. In the Vitality Cafes, questions in this domain focus on your feelings and emotions, as well as your mental capacity and thirst for learning and knowledge. So we've been having a lot of great conversations around that this week. And now we get to talk a little bit more about mental emotional vitality. And I think the intersectional aspects of mental emotional vitality with your physical vitality. And Yoli is here to kind of lead us along with that. So I am going to stop the screen share and I'm going to go into the background and join everyone with what we're doing today. So,
okay.
Thanks.
Thank you for that lovely introduction, Andrew. And I'm very excited to be back with you all today. So my name is Yoli Maya. My pronouns are she, her. I'm reaching out to you all from Evanston, Illinois today, first suburb north of Chicago. And I'm quite known in this webinar sphere with Be Strong Families in the last year. I would say the things that I've really been contributing on fall into two buckets. One is all about rest, the need for rest, how rest can help us reset our rhythms, can help us manage social justice uprising, can help us get through the uncertainties of pandemic life. And the other thing I've been representing on a lot are spaces to process emotions. So in addition to needing spaces that include talking and communing, so if you think about how you process your emotions, your like mental stuff that arises, we talk to people, we talk with ourselves, we journal, we talk with people who we live with, we might talk to our therapists, we might talk to our mentors or supervisors or so on and so forth. And so what I want to invite in today is the framework of how we also talk to the body and support the natural arising of emotions, all sorts, pleasant and unpleasant emotions, often both felt at the same time, very human experience, right? To feel pleasant and unpleasant feelings at the same time, right? That's what makes us, one of the things that makes us very dynamic, unique beings. So emotions rise, thoughts arise, and we need tools to help move them through the body. And we need tools to talk to the body. Now, some of us like to exercise, some of us don't. Some of us like to move, some of us don't. The pandemic certainly presented us with some paradigms of less movement overall. And yeah, that leaves the body feeling heavy, or the physical experience of weight gain, just heavy in the mind with this. So we're emerging like little butterflies out of cocoons right now into the possibilities of expansion. That's springtime, expansion, and then expansion in all directions. It's summer season. So we've got unless you're attending from the southern hemisphere right now, Chile or Australia or something, then this is our chance to get things going. So one of my favorite things to do is not take life seriously. I mean, I have to show up in life and stuff is serious all the time. But can part of that mental vitality, that emotional vitality, the practice of that, can that be also a little bit silly, a little bit fun? Like, is there a capacity for movement to just be like a lot of wiggling and shaking, and that's also therapeutic? Well, I'm so happy to share with you today that the answer is yes. You can wiggle your way to emotional well-being. You can fluff, 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 fluff your body and your energy body in ways that feels good. And additionally, things that you did when you were a baby, like blowing raspberries, moving energy in the face, in the jaw, and the mouth, and the tongue is also part of it. So that's all I'm going to say about anything to say. And other than that, we're going to spend the rest of our time together moving our bodies. So in some ways, I'd like to add one more agreement to our agreement list, that you are going to explore these movements in ways that are supportive for your body. I'm not there with you to be like, yes, this in fact is supportive for your body. I'll show some alternatives. You may find that you're not able to do everything that we do today, but it's a webinar. We're introducing the idea, and hopefully you'll be able to walk away with some of those principles. So give us a little shout out. Thanks those of you that are putting in I agree to this last addendum agreement, but it's really important, because did you know that you are the most knowledgeable person about your body? It's very empowering to take that on as a real inner belief that you in fact are the most knowledgeable person about your body. So you're going to move with awareness and that knowledge, and also have fun along the way. Okay, so there's lots of things I want to do standing up. Right now I'm sitting down. I also want to show you that I'm sitting on a pillow. So all I have with me today, I just put the yoga mat down. I don't know, I don't really need it, but okay, it makes things look official. No, just kidding. Sometimes it's nice to have a little extra padding. We don't particularly need anything today, but if we do things on the floor and you're comfortable having a pillow or something to give you a little lift and give you some space in the hips, that's nice. And you can also adapt what we're doing to being seated in a chair. That's fine too. Okay. So first things first, let's just kind of catch a feel of where this body is. And I want to do that laying down on the back, because when we lay down, it's the signals our mind, like, let's chill out. Okay. So I want you to lay on your back. And on here in your back, bend your knees. And just let yourself be totally just at ease here. I've got my knees bent so that my low back isn't so cranky. If you like to, you can put your hands in the belly. Hands can be to the side. We're gonna first just locate the breath. Take a couple breaths and they're just normal breaths. And now, wherever your breath is, front, back, sides, chest, belly, just let it descend towards the belly. Maybe even starting with, if you're finding that your breath is really high up, maybe just starting with the belly button region. Send your breath there, send your breath even deeper into the belly. Send your breath all the way down, if you can, to the bottom of the pelvic bowl. And this bowl has front, side, side, and a back side, and a bottom as well. Right now, we're laying on the back side of the pelvic bowl. So this is sort of a tone setting. This is like an invitation to the whole nervous system to relax, to go into the rest and repair, the stay and play mode. And this mode is the antidote to the fight, flight, overwork mode. And then while you're here, just stretch your arms overhead. Really stretch them. Stretch all the way through your fingertips. And then we're going to do something that I learned is called pandiculation. So you're going to stretch your legs into the air and your arms into the air. And you're going to wiggle hands and arms. And the idea is to get everything like relaxed and wiggly. And yeah, you may find yourself laughing. I think that's very helpful. That's a really, and now just wiggle the fingers and the toes. You can't see my toes in the frame, but just wiggle the fingers and the toes. You know, and then again, a little bit of everything. If it feels good, draw the knees in towards the chest. You can hold on the tops of the shins. You can hold on the backs of the thighs and just circle the knees. So when I'm circling, I'm bringing my knees in towards my chest. And when I'm away, I'm letting my knees come away. And then I'm tracing a circle around, go the other way, that low part of my back, or the back side of the pelvic bowl. Nice, coming back to center, could be a little bit rocking side to side. Now don't lose sight of that breath. So just because we're moving, don't start like holding your breath. One more time, stretch and wiggle. And then bring I will probably laugh the whole time. And then bring your feet back onto the floor. Your knees are kind of wide, your feet are wide, the arms out to the side. These are zigzag twists. So let's go really slow. Inhale in the center. And then as you exhale, just drop both knees to the left, gently turn the head to the right. That's really funny. I said that, but I'm doing the opposite. It may just naturally arise. Breathe in. Exhale, knees to the opposite side. Turn your head. That you just vocalize sound. It just happens. This opportunity to twist my spine in two opposite directions. My neck is like, oh, this feels good. Breathe in. And go back to the first side and just see, can you coordinate your knees and your head moving? Oh, a spontaneous raspberry. Breathe in. And as you exhale, breathe out through your mouth. And then the last thing, just let the lips flutter into raspberry lips. So now this very advanced wiggling. Ready? Inhale, center. Exhale out the mouth into a raspberry. Breathe in. Breathe out. Come back to the center. Stretch the arm overhead. Doesn't this remind you a little bit of like bed yoga? You know, you wake up in the morning and yep, that's the vibe. That's the energy right there. Okay. So since we're on our backs, we want to have a little transition to standing up. So let's roll to a side. This is it, your back loves you. If you roll to a side and sit up, and then come onto your hands and knees. Okay? And if you discover on your hands and knees that you'd like some padding under the knees, maybe that's a blanket, a pillow. And let's just do a little classic cat's pose. It's so nice. Okay, we're inhaling. Nice, just length. And I'm just kind of adding a little wiggle here. It's spontaneous. It's just a little wiggle side to side. It feels good. Let's add a raspberry. Breathe in. Find yourself doing some little wiggles. Breathe out. Now, circles in this position. It's like your belly button is tracing the circle. And your hips are swaying from side to side. Let's do that in the opposite direction. And then you're going to start to get a little creative. Let's go figure eights, like you're doing an infinity symbol. Like sideways figure eights. Could also be those figure eights in front and back. We're getting a little like snaky through the spine. Now, often known as child's pose. We're going to come back as much as it feels comfortable towards the heels. We're going to stretch the arms forward. And if you want more space, more support, we could widen the knees. Bring the forearms down. One more breath. Nice and slow. Okay, we're going to make our way to standing position. So it could be maybe you want to do a down dog and come up that way. It could be that we're going to bring one leg down and bring ourselves up to standing. Maybe you're going to use a chair or something nearby that's supportive to get yourself up to standing. So if you come to some of the other workshops with me that I've done, some of these things you may already know. First thing we're going to do is a standing wiggle. So I've got space between my feet. My knees are soft. My hips are loose. And I want to bounce. And I want to find a rhythm to this wiggling where there's almost a little bounce back. Like it becomes effortless. And the reason you want to have your knees bent, you're sending the weight back in the hips, not forward on the knees, because that's not going to feel good. And so my rhythm is going to be about here. And we're going to sustain this for like 2 minutes. It's going to feel like a long time. It's not. And part of this is recognizing places that feel loose, places that don't. And you can play around with like how wiggly your bounce is, but you need enough bounce because what we're doing here is moving fluid in the body all around. We're circulating fluid in the joints, fluid in the fascia, fluid in the muscles, fluid around the organs. Keep going. I can't see you all, but keep going. Sometimes I wiggle a little and get it into my neck. A little bit more. Okay, we're gonna slowly come to a stop and just hang out for a second. Keep those knees soft. Keep the weight back into the hips and bum and feel all these tinglies all over the body. That's fluid flowing in fluid-filled spaces. So now let's fluff a few joints, okay? So I'm gonna bring a little bit more of my body weight onto my left side. And I'm gonna bring my mind to my right ankle. I might even bring a little gentle movement there. And I'm just wanna make as if I could fluff, circulate and make lighter and at ease my ankle. Then the same thing with my knee. Now I'm going to switch sides, but I'm going to try to keep my right ankle and right knee a little fluffy. So a lot of this is happening in the imagination. That doesn't make it not real. Now fluff your left ankle, left knee. Then you're going to bring your mind to the hips region. And there might be little wiggles involved, just kind of feeling into where things could be a little fluffier in the two hips. Now fluff between your ribs. Each rib has a space in those intercostal muscles that could get a little fluffy. Like right now I'm feeling I had tension in my back ribs. So I'm fluffing there. And now fluff the wrists. Bring your mind there and imagine like fluffing. Circulate the elbows, the shoulders. How about the bones of the spine? Start at the bottom and go all the way up to the top. And then all the way to the neck. Like my neck feels kind of need of fluffing. Fluff the bones in your head. Little spaces that you can fluff inside the ears and in between parts of the skull. This whole body's a little fluffy. So now I want you to recognize that one of the ways to fluff, to bring your mind to places in the body, is to have your vision around the room. So in order, it's like I took my mind to my right hip, or where I said like my neck was kind of caught up. I took my mind there, but my eyesight is kind of traveling around the room. And so my eyesight, what I'm doing with that is I'm engaging my spatial awareness. My body in the space that it's occupying. Have you ever been around a kid, or an adult for that matter, but it happens a lot with youth, with children and youth, that have no spatial awareness whatsoever? You know, and it's like their limbs are flailing everywhere, and you're like, I need you to control your limbs. I need you to see where you are in the space and see your body's relationship with the space around you. So I want you to trace the space around you, like a body size. So stretch out your arms, trace above you, and then, you know, kind of imagine the same distance below the feet, and now trace behind you. So you have some sense of in front and behind, okay? So this is your energetic egg. And what you're gonna do now, if it's fun, have a nice soft stance. Knees are bent, hips are relaxed, belly's relaxed, and your eyesight is around the room. And just as if you could feel into the front part of your body, the back part, the right, the left, above and below the feet, fluff your body into the space around you. It's your space. It's your energetic egg. It's actually still your body. And again, what's going to be really helpful is to look around the room. So you're sensing this expanded body, but you're noticing, and you can even, if you have windows, you can look out the window also, like get even bigger. As much as you're looking out the window, can you imagine the same distance behind you? And right now, what we're doing is playing games of spatial awareness. So the last thing that we're going to do here, I want to bring it back to like speech, mouth, and a little bit of the sort of internal heart, kidney, joy, fear axis. It's very human, something that makes us very human. So your tongue, we're going to do some big old stretches with the tongue. And I'm going to do these from standing back there, but I wanted to get real close so you could see what I'm going to do with my face. And so it's not about constricting your throat and trying to make a hissing noise or anything like that, but you're going to stick your tongue out really far and open your eyes really big. So you could inhale. Ready? So from standing, we can do this a couple times, and I want you to feel this sense going all the way down the throat. So you breathe in. And I'm finding that I'm looking straight ahead. My laptop sight is a little bit down, so I'm looking straight ahead. Let's do this 2 more times. And I'm not even breathing out. I'm breathing in, and I guess I'm lightly holding my breath. And bring it on back in. One more time, just feel the whole body. Something you might be feeling right now is you may have broken a little sweat. You may feel like the pores of the body are a little bit open, and like that's that sweat vibe, just like, oh, I'm schwitzing a little, like everything's open. That's the idea. So I know we've come to the end of our half an hour, but I'm going to take 30 seconds and give you the just quick and dirty of how was any of that therapeutic, other than like we moved our bodies and we had some giggles, and you saw my, my warrior face there. Well, when we move in the way that we did from start to finish, we circulate nutrient-filled fluid that occupies the interstitial spaces of the body, the fascial spaces of the body. And fascia is the most amazing organ in your body that governs everything. Everything from stress management to how you interface with the environment, the ability for you to move through thoughts and emotions, as well as innervating all the organs, all the muscles, all the nerves, all the everything. It's the one organ that spirally, in a spiral style, links all of the body systems together into the whole being that you are. So there's certain types of movement that activate the fascial layer of the body, and they largely involve wiggling. We took it into also the meditative realm of spatial awareness and fluffing. There's all sorts of skills and tools that we could develop with that, including meditative tools, pain management tools, sparking the body's natural healing process. And then Razzberries is also about bringing blood flow and circulation, vocalization, emitting sound is very critically important in the processing of emotions and feelings. So I hope you had fun and you wiggled and wiggled. This honestly, when people ask me like how I practice, I train martial arts, but my recovery practice, my healing practice is exactly what we did today. Rolling on the floor and breathing and giggling and blowing raspberries and making sounds and more wiggling in different positions and legit. So I had a lot of fun with you guys today. I hope this was fun for you too, and eye-opening that healing movement can be fun.
Absolutely. I enjoyed this so much. Thank you so much for joining us, Yoli. And yeah, so our cafe tomorrow for Mental Emotional Vitality Week starts at 12 o'clock. Let's keep the train rolling on talking everything mental, emotional vitality. I'm loving this week. I personally have got a lot out of it. And next week, we're going to be talking about all 6 domains of vitality, bringing them all together. Let's talk about each one and how they all are intersectional and relate to one another. So Monday, we're starting with a recap of where we are. Kathy will be joining us for that. And then Tuesday, Sarita will be joining us for Living Your Best Life. Kathy again on Wednesday for Momentum and Motivation. And Thursday, we'll feature Alexander James and Robin Harvey for Creating Your Strategic Plan for Holistic Vitality. And Friday, we'll cap it off with a Holistic Vitality Cafe. I had a lot of fun today. Thank you so much for joining us, Yoli. I got some good exercises going and a lot to think about of just all this good stuff. So we will see you all tomorrow for the cafe, and then we'll see you again for the regular webinars next week.